When you think of John Lewis, what do you think of?
He wants people to be together. When I think of John Lewis, I think of good trouble.
Freedom. Fighting for fairness. Leading the march over the bridge. Brave. Good trouble. Necessary trouble.
Friend the wildest.
Joy and peace. Fighting for freedom. Marching across the Edmunds Pettus Bridge. Freedom Riders. Fighting for black rights. Justice. Sit-ins. Martin Luther King Jr. because he inspired John Lewis to be a civil rights leader.
He did stop marching over the Edmunds Pettus Bridge.
He was very brave.
People standing up for rights.
Jackson overcame the barriers of segregation and gender bias to become NASA's first black female engineer in 1958 and a leader in making sure future generations have equal opportunities. Mary Jackson was part of a group of important women who helped NASA succeed in getting American astronauts into space. Mary broke boundaries for African Americans in the field of math and science.
I'm Ayana.
And I'm Liam.
And we're in Missy Cadion's 4th grade class.
Hot Corner at the intersection of Hull Street and Washington Street supported a thriving African American business community and was home to the celebrated Moyer Theater, one of the first black-owned and operated vaudeville theaters in the country. Walking through this part of downtown Athens, you may feel like you're walking back in time. Each building here has a rich history that is still unfolding today.
During the civil rights movement and protests in the 50s and 60s, Hot Corner was a sort of safe haven for African American protesters. Here we have World Famous, which was originally called Wilson Soul Food. Wilson Soul Food closed its doors on October 3rd, 2011. It was owned by Homer Wilson, who owns Wilson's Barbershop next door. Wilson worked for the railroad in Colbert, Georgia, and cut hair on the side to make extra money. In 1954, he retired from the railroad and opened Wilson's Styling Shop on Hull Street in downtown Athens. He has been cutting hair for over 50 years.
Next, we have the Moyer Theater. This theater was built in 1910. It's described as the biggest building of its kind to be owned by a black man. There are still performances being held there today. Now, we have the first African Methodist Episcopal Church. It was founded in 1866. The AME Church was the first African American church in Athens. The church works to support in families in Athens.
Lastly, we have the Hot Corner mural, which was created on Wednesday, August 21st, 2019. This mural celebrates and highlights the history of Hot Corner.
Amanda Gomez is the youngest presidential inaugural poet in U.S. history. She is a committed advocate for the environment, racial equality, and gender justice. In 2017, Urban Word named her the first ever National Youth Poet Laureate of the United States.
She is also the author of a poetry and special edition of her inaugural poem, The Hill We Climb. Amanda made history in 2021 when she became the youngest person to perform a poem at a presidential inauguration. Here are a few lines that stood out to us from her powerful poem, The Hill We Climb.
When day comes, we step out of the shade of flame and unafraid. The new dawn balloons as we free it, for there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it.
Lynette Houston is from South Carolina. She makes sweet bread baskets.
She teaches other people how to make sweetgrass baskets. She is part of the Gola culture.
Hi, we're from the 7th class.
Michelle Obama was the first black first lady of the United States. She worked hard to go to Princeton, Harvard. Then she became a lawyer.
She met Barack Obama while mentoring him at the law firm. She worked in as the First Lady. She used her wisdom and drive to help others in many ways. In April of 2009, she planted a kitchen garden on the White House lawn. Many kids helped her do it. She also launched an initiative called Let's Move, designed to help children grow up healthier and follow their dreams, just like she did. Hi, my name is Delio, and Philly Nelly made it the street mailbox. Hi, my name is Dorsey, and Philip B. Downing invented the electric railroad switch. Bye.
Hazel Scott was a jazz and piano player and singer. She was an outspoken critical of racial discrimination and segregation. She used her influence to improve the representation of Black Americans in film.
With her mother's guidance and training, she mastered advanced piano techniques and was labeled a child prodigy. She showed off her dueling piano skills on Broadway and at several clubs, including the famous Cotton Club in Harlem.
Later in life, she became one of the first Black female women to gain respectable roles in Hollywood and the first Black woman to own her own television show.
With the status as one of the best-known African-American entertainers of her generation, she often used her fame to shine a spotlight on issues of racial injustice and civil rights.
My mom dropped my little brother off before taking
The Nicholas brothers, Bayard and Harold. These brothers were born in 1914 and 1921. These brothers were exceptional tap dancers during the Jazz Age and Harlem Renaissance. They did acrobatics while performing in front of thousands. They even performed with Cab Calloway. Their inspiration for dance was from British and African dance. They are famous for their incredible jig on staircase, performing splits and jumps. Lastly, they were even featured in movies like Stormy Weather. They led the way for other African-American dancers to succeed.
Vaughn was an American mathematician and human computer who worked for the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics and NASA in 1949. She became acting supervisor of the West Area Computers, the first African-American woman to receive a promotion and supervise a group of staff at the center. She later was promoted officially to the position of supervisor. Vaughn was honored with the Congressional Gold Medal in 2019.
Twinkle, twinkle, traffic lights on the corner shining bright. Red means stop, green means go, yellow means drive very slow, slow, slow.
Gary Morgan was born in March 1477. March 4th, 1877. He made the 3 traffic lights. Thank you, Mr. Morgan, keeping us safe.
Twinkle, twinkle, shining bright. Morgan need the warning light. Red means stop, green means go. Yellow means drive very slow, slow, slow.
Mae Jemison was the first African-American woman to go to outer space.
Mae Jemison spent 7 days, 22 hours, and 30 minutes in space.
This is Miss Dunstan's class, and we chose to learn about Vashti Harrison.
Vashti Harrison really focused on her work. She wrote books like Big or Hair Love. She's a very good artist. Vashti Harrison won 3 awards for one of her newest released books, Big. She is also an author and illustrator. She also went to school to make movies. Vashti Harrison's latest book called Big won 3 awards. She mostly uses her iPad to illustrate the pictures in the books she makes.
Vashti Harrison makes pictures. She makes the hair look realistic.
Vashti Harrison is an illustrator. Vashti wrote a book called Big.
Okay, we hope you learned some cool facts about Vashti Harrison. Guys, show off those books.
My name is Lila. My name is Mariana. And we are in Miss Barr's 2nd grade class. Beverly Buchanan was an African-American artist from Georgia. She was born on October 8th, 1940 in North Carolina. Beverly Buchanan graduated from Bennett College with a degree in medical technology. Then she got her master's degree from Columbia University in New York. And after working, she went to the medical field so she later she's an artist. You picked up 2 pages.
Sorry. This is just our practice.
Oh, it is. She forgot to finish the page, but okay. She moved to Macon, Georgia, and later had an artist studio in Athens. Beverly Buchanan made sculptures of shacks, as seen in
In the South.
In the rural South.
I'll just put in the South.
Yeah, I can't say that word. She died on July 4th, 2015.
Okay.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a civil rights leader. He gave his I Have a Dream speech on August 28, 1963. At the March on Washington, he helped get the Civil Rights Act of 1964 passed. Because of him, we can all go to restaurants and sit where we want. We can sit anywhere on the bus. We can play together.
Kate speaking. We're learning Donald Cruz is a lighter spirit. We're learning about Donald Cruz right now. Next up will be Jagger.
Jagger, why are we learning about Donald Cruz?
Because he's important, because he makes books.
Oh.
That's all about Donald Cruz, like a twine book. Our 4 little dots.
Okay.
Donald Cruz, you make amazing artwork. And he also makes books about where people get safe home to, and My name is Made, and
my name is Ophelia.
we are in Miss Branch's second grade class. Jackie Robinson was born on January 31st, 1919 in Cairo, Georgia.
Jackie Robinson was the first African American baseball player in the Major League Baseball.
Before baseball, Jackie Robinson was in the Army. Before the major leagues, he played for the Kansas City Monarchs in the Negro Leagues.
He played in 6 World Series games with the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Jackie Robinson used nonviolence and his talents to challenge segregation.
After he retired from baseball, he became the first black vice president of a major American corporation called Chock of Nuts.
In the 1960s, he helped establish the Freedom National Bank, an African American owned bank in Harlem.
He died on October 24th, 1972 in Stamford, Connecticut at the age of 53.
This is Claudette Cloven, a civil rights activist. When she was just 15, she refused to get up from her seat even before Rosa Parks.
Here are some quotes. It was never about me, it was about the rights and dignity of all black people.
Here's another one. I always tell young people to hold on to their dreams, that sometimes you have to stand up for what is right, even if you have to stand alone.
This class shows Jesse Owens for Black History. Jesse Owens was a track and field athlete and won 4 gold medals at the 1936 Olympics.
Jesse Owens was a biography, and he gave speeches on hard work. Jesse Owens was a photography.
What's your name?
Aspen.
And who's your teacher?
Miss Britton is that.
And what did you guys talk about?
Donald Cruz.
Donald Cruz. And what does he do?
He's the author of the book.
And what book did we talk about?
The bus.
The bus. And would you like to show everybody our bus that we made? All right.